What is up, guys? Back with another video. We're going to be recapping the week of August 17th in the WNBA. We had Vegas and Chicago play a really close game. Stella Johnson had a breakout game for the Washington Mystics, and Crystal Dangerfield is in the running for Rookie of the Year. The growing rivalry between the Las Vegas Aces and the Chicago Sky continued last night in a thriller game where the Sky ended up winning 84-82. Fighting for that number 2 spot in the WNBA rankings behind the Seattle Storm, Las Vegas and Chicago have completely different offensive and defensive philosophies, but both have seen lots of success in the wobble this year. Vegas was actually up the entire first half, but found themselves down 6 going into the fourth quarter. Kayla McBride did everything she could to keep her team in it in the fourth quarter, cutting the lead to just 4 here. On the other end, Sydney Colson makes a tough shot at the end of the shot clock to put them back up 6, and after an empty possession by LA, Chicago comes down in transition. Azurá Stevens makes a super athletic play, kicking out to Courtney Vandersloot for 3, putting Chicago back up 9. This keeps the deficit within single digits by this really nice little back screen play here with McBride and Wilson to get an easy 2 points at the rim. Diamond DeShields doesn't switch. That's the easiest basket Wilson got all night. A'ja Wilson is a frontrunner for the WNBA MVP award this season, averaging going into this game nearly 20 points and 9 rebounds. Las Vegas has been playing their best basketball as of late, but Chicago was ready. A'ja Wilson only scored 11 points on 3 for 12 shooting. Although the game came down to the wire, Chicago just has way too many weapons to be able to really double team. They double here, and Azurá Stevens finds a wide open Courtney Vandersloot for 3. With a little under 6 minutes to play, Chicago moves the ball from side to side like they always do so well, getting the defense to shift, and then Courtney Vandersloot, their all-star point guard, ends up making a ridiculous shot here in the corner as the shot clock expires. Now, I'm not normally one to complain about every call that the refs did or didn't make, but you can see her feet clearly shuffling here back and forth. She picks up her pivot foot and switches it about 2 times right in front of the ref on the baseline. Like I said earlier, the Chicago Sky did a great job containing A'ja Wilson. Here, Azurá gets caught on the high side, but recovers and makes a huge block with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Up 10 now, the Sky look like they're going to pull away as Azurá Stevens sets a great little fade screen here for Copper, who rips and goes to the basket, putting the Sky back up 12. As most people thought this game was probably over, they cut the lead back to 9 with 3 minutes to go, and from then on, Vegas goes on a big run. Dearica Hamby had some huge plays down the stretch as she gets this foul call on Stephanie Dawson here. You're going to see she kind of grabs her. She might have sold it a little bit, but whatever it takes. She's going to knock down a pair of free throws here. The lead is going to be cut to 7 with 1.5 minutes to go. The Aces' comeback momentum continues as A'ja Wilson gets a huge block here as the shot clock expires. Dearica Hamby gets a bucket on the other end, and this is now a 5-point game. Vegas is riding a 7-game winning streak going into this one, so you know they're not going to go down easily. Vegas needs a stop here, and they do get it. With 1 minute to go, they defend Chicago for the entirety of the shot clock. Here we see Wilson in some drop coverage, forcing Vandersloot to make a tough pass to Dawson. They rotate, they move, they end up switching here, and A'ja Wilson is just everywhere. She's going to end up denying Courtney Vandersloot right here, and the ball is going to go right back off Vandersloot, giving the Aces a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game. Kayla McBride's going to get 2 great looks off this sideline out of bounds play, but she just can't hit. Most people probably turned off their televisions after these possessions, assuming that they weren't going to be able to come back, but Vegas has one more stop in them, and now Kayla McBride takes a transition 3 that ends up going in, cutting it to a 2-point game. With just over 15 seconds to go, all Chicago has to do now is get the ball in bounds, but guess what they do? They turn it over. I'm not sure if this is how Bill Laimbeer drew up the defensive coverage, but McBride makes a huge play, slipping out and switching on to Courtney Vandersloot coming to the ball. She gets the steal and gets fouled and knocks down both free throws to tie the game with 13.6 seconds left.
Ja vu for Chicago. McBride hits the first. McBride ties this game at 80.
Chicago gets some redemption. James Wade draws up the biggest play of the game here on another sideline out of bounds look where they get the ball reversed into a stagger ball screen into a back screen. So Dawson's going to step up and screen for the first screener. So she's going to hit A'ja Wilson, who gets rocked, and then Courtney Vandersloot finds Steven for a wide open layup. The excitement kind of comes to a halt as Vegas gets an opportunity to tie it on their own sideline out of bounds play, but you're kind of left wondering what the actual play was. I would assume that they wanted to get the ball to McBride or Wilson down low just to go forward, but Danielle Robinson ends up taking the last second shot, and all of the players look pretty confused after, so something definitely went wrong. It looks like McCautry just couldn't get the ball in bounds, but that definitely wasn't the look they were going for. A'ja Wilson's expression here says it all, but either way, I'm excited to see this rivalry really play out. Now, this next part of the video is what I'm most excited about. Stella Johnson went to Rider University, who played in the same conference that I did at Quinnipiac University, which was the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. She was the 29th pick in this year's WNBA draft and led all of women's college basketball in scoring, averaging 24.8 points per game. The first player from the MAC conference to get drafted, and then she was signed by the Phoenix Mercury before being waived and then picked up by the Chicago Sky. She only stepped on the floor 4 times for the Sky before she was waived, but she was immediately picked up by the Washington Mystics, a team that had been on a 7-game losing streak, and in only her 3rd game with a brand new team, she dropped 25 points last night on 6 3-pointers. Her speed and athleticism and her ability to not just shoot but also get to the rim make her really tough to guard. I don't think teams went into this game thinking that she was a knockdown 3-point shooter, but as a result of Emma Miesemann and the other players getting a lot more attention, Johnson was able to really find herself spotting up wide open on the 3-point line and knock down shots consistently. Let's not forget to mention that this was her first career start, and this was a must-win game for the Mystics. How about that for a rookie who didn't play in many games in Chicago, coming in and pretty much willing a brand new team to their first win in weeks.
Johnson lets it fly. Another one. Hey.
To end the video, we're quickly going to touch upon Crystal Dangerfield's rookie season with the Minnesota Lynx. I plan on doing an in-depth analysis on all of the Rookie of the Year candidates, but for now, let's just talk about the big game she had last night. She scored over 20 points in 3 of her last 8 games, and all of those 8 games she scored in double figures. Last night she had 21 points on 5 threes along with 6 assists. Just like the dime she throws here off of that hesitation on the pick and roll. She can do a little bit of everything, but honestly what surprised me is her ability to knock down the 3 ball. I don't know if it was just me, but going into this game, I never really thought of her as a great shooter. I was definitely wrong. Going back to her UConn stats like you just saw there, she shot over 40% in her career at UConn from 3. So I must have been sleeping on her, but nobody will anymore. After knocking down 5 threes last night, she's definitely going to be labeled as someone that you cannot go under a screen with. The UConn alumni duo in Dangerfield and Nafisa Collier, who was last year's Rookie of the Year, has been really fun to watch. Watching them play together, you can see that chemistry is still there, and the Lynx are on their way to having a great season and potentially, taking one of those top spots come playoff time. They're currently 7-3, but I really do think that they can make a deep run into the playoffs and potentially take down the top-ranked Seattle Storm. Again, I'm going to be going into a way deeper analysis on each of the Rookie of the Year candidates in another video, but I just wanted to highlight the huge game she had that led the Minnesota Lynx to the victory over the Dallas Wings last night. Marina Mabrey is another player who's also come alive in the last couple games, and I'm excited to cover them next. So stay tuned. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll continue to break down players, teams, all the WNBA coverage, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.